me because I don't have a remote. So I will be moving up and down to just change the slides, and I hope I won't be in anyone's way. My passion is to connect people. I connect people with business opportunities, particularly market access for women in business, particularly women who produce handcraft. I also produce handcraft. I'm a milliner, and I'm also a goat farmer, a cattle farmer. So I connect people with markets. That's why I love working at the ZITF, because it's one big marketplace. I also am a speaker, and I like to encourage people to speak and to hear their own voices and accept their voices and be comfortable in speaking to people. So we're going to look at three things. What is professionalism? Why does it matter to us? We're calling ourselves a professional development forum. Why does professionalism matter so much to us? And what is the mark of a professional? This is open to a lot of debate. I won't claim to have all the answers, but I hope that in the interaction that we'll have, it will just spur some discussion around certain things. But what is professionalism? What does it mean to us? Is it a word that we can define in a phrase or a sentence? Is it? Or has it just become a cliche that we just say? I'll need some assistance with the next part to get some sound. If the technology doesn't fail me, we're just going to quickly listen to some of the things that professionalism can be. And then you can identify with it, or you can coin your own phrase.
Professional has so many layers in it, in one simple word. Think of the word professionalism, you think about maybe a nice tie, nice dress shoes, maybe not using bad words in your speech, being formal in your speech. But I think professionalism means something more than that. It has a more complex layer to it.
I think it's knowing what your goal is, going for it, and also knowing the community that you have to work with and being able to work with the different personalities but still stand your ground in what you're trying to achieve.
You know, being engaged in whatever you're doing currently. For instance, if you're in a meeting, to be, actively taking notes on your laptop and not being on Facebook or checking other emails, making sure that you're focused and engaged in the meeting and conversation.
With, seeing that they care, seeing compassion within them, and then wanting to actually do well in their positions and individually.
Professionalism really relates to sports in a lot of ways. With our team and the team that we have here, we live by something that our coach was telling us, which was don't do anything to hurt yourself or the team. So basically constantly living or acting in a way that would not reflect badly on yourself or the team as a big group, and I think that's a good way to live.
Professionalism to me means if I'm part of an organization, putting the organization's needs ahead of my needs.
Devotion to your own progression as well, bettering yourself as a person, and really it's how you show your best strengths.
for me personally, things like formality or maybe traditional definitions of professionalism in terms of dress and things like that don't really matter as much. It's about the work that people are doing, what they're able to produce, that they can be proud of the work they're doing at the end of the day.
Saving grace of the galaxies.
Having your clothes pressed, having your hair combed, having your makeup applied, having your shoes match. All these things I think is the very first impression somebody has of you when you walk in a room for an interview or for a job or a meeting. That kind of sets the tone for how you conduct yourself after that.
Professionalism to me is being able to hold yourself in a manner that is presentable to the professional world. Aside from what you may do in your life outside of your profession, being professional is being able to set that apart and carry yourself in a way that demands respect and shows that you're serious about what you do.
So what do we think? What are some of the things that come to mind from the video? I just need two volunteers who are not freezing cold like me. What is professionalism?
For me, what came out is that it's such a multifaceted word, defining factor. It's not just, I said it's not just about dressing formally, dressing smart and matching, but it's your behavior, the way you carry yourself, the way you do your work, meeting deadlines, things like that. It's very multifaceted.
Absolutely, it's multifaceted, and if I can just summarize it in three things, we'll touch on your behavior, meaning the things that you're going to do or the way that you're going to interact with people. It'll also touch on your skills, because if you want to say that you're a professional, if I want to say I'm a marketing specialist, I've got to have the backing of my degrees or my professional certification. And I've got to have that knowledge. Do I have the experience to call myself a marketing specialist with confidence? Do I have the knowledge of my stuff? So we can go into dictionary definitions, but I'd prefer for us to get a broad sense that, as she says, it's multifaceted. So that when we decide whether we ourselves are professional, we're not just looking at one aspect. And we're looking at a whole host of aspects that make up this professionalism that we're talking about. We'll move on to why does it matter? Why are we so worried about it to the extent of having this forum? Because this is what makes you stand out from the crowd. This is what defines who you are. No matter what industry you're in, to succeed or move ahead, you must have that professional work ethic. And I know that with the 2008 era, 2009 era, when everyone was in the Kia mode, if I can say, we lost a lot of professional business practices. The whole corporate nature that we grew up in, or I'll speak for myself because I'm out of the age bracket that is here. The corporate culture that we grew up with, a lot of that has been lost. I've seen organizations, prominent organizations, where you find things are just not what they used to be, and it's very sad. This is a gentleman who he's an actor, some of you may know him, his net worth is over 150 million. And he's got all the money, he's got more money than me, certainly. And he still goes back to professionalism. He goes to work, he does the mundane things, and he delivers on the very basic things. And some of us, when we get into the space of having money, we now think we can forget the rules. We now think we can get into deals without having contracts or agreements because we've just got the money. And I think this kind of reminds us that even the rich also maintain their professionalism. For those who are unemployed, the job market is very, very competitive. And to differentiate yourself, you've got to carry out your duties in a very professional manner. The July 17 ruling, which was all over the papers year before last year, a lot of us were scared that, oh my word, as people are getting retrenched, am I not going to be next? But I believe that what would differentiate you from the next person is your professionalism. That yes, we're downsizing, yes, we're going through tough times, but we cannot afford to lose so and so. So for you to compete with others and for you to be seen, you've got to be a professional. To stand out from the crowd, you've got to make a positive first impression. We spoke a lot this morning about making that first impression. But I believe it's not just about making an impression, but it's about making a lasting impression. So I'll meet 30 people today, but of those 30, how many will I remember? And that is what that is what you want. You want to be that person or that company that people recall after a networking event. So professionalism extends to a whole host of areas that we've highlighted, that it's multifaceted. We have to display professionalism in the way that we speak. Speaking with confidence, using appropriate language. The text generation, we like to abbreviate things, we even extend that to emails. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't extend our text messages to our emails. We still need to maintain that professionalism. In the way that we speak, we can use slang with our friends, and it's sort of creeping into professional language as well, which is sometimes very unfortunate. I'm very much of the old school, where we treat the Queen's language with respect, and yeah, I've just seen, sometimes when I listen to the news, I cringe. I mean, the news long back was the place where you would tune in to hear the correct pronunciations. But now it's really sad. We've got to display the professionalism in our attitude. There are some things that we don't like to do. I personally don't like to do filing. I like to do everything else in the office, but I don't like admin. But we've still got to be able to do it with that professionalism, do it with that grace, that we do all our other duties. And even if we've had a bad day, and we do have bad days, and you know there's some people that you know she's having problems at home, or you know, whatever. I don't believe that those kinds of situations should creep into the office. And I'm not saying we shouldn't be human, but if it's going to go to the extent of affecting our work or even affecting our customers, then we really have to control it. This is something that I believe in. We should display professionalism in our dress. The way that we carry ourselves, dressing suited to the occasion. I've always been an advocate for dressing beyond the occasion, because I want to be noticed, I want to be remembered. And I think it's very important to acquire good clothes, men and women. Not stylish clothes, not fashionable clothes, but good quality clothes that you can wear for a number of years. Display our professionalism in our character. Watching how we interact with people. Still remaining polite, still being courteous as well. And when we disagree, I've seen on social media where we disagree on certain things. I'm sure we've seen even in the political space where we disagree. We sometimes don't respect each other in the way that we respond to each other. And display professionalism online. So critical for us to be careful about what we post online. I personally, if I'm going to recruit students, I recruit a lot of students. Just with the just ended ZITF, we had a whole host of students. I have a person going through their Facebook profiles to be sure that we are bringing in people who are befitting the international status of our organization. So yes, we do look at your Facebook profiles, we do look at your LinkedIn profiles. And those who are unemployed, it's very, very critical to make sure that your online presence is as professional as you want it to be, and as you project yourself in other spheres. So what is that mark of a professional? It's going to touch on so many things because, as I said, it's multifaceted. You're going to have probably development areas and probably points to note in several things, and I think it's okay. Because one of my personal philosophies is is continuous improvement. I look at a whole host of things. At the end of the day, I will assess how did I do today in this meeting, how did I handle this project, and I'm ruthless with that. I do that every day because that's the only way that I can improve. Velile earlier was asking, how is it that you can sit next to somebody in class and meet up with them 5-10 years later and find that you are miles apart? On Friday, I met a gentleman whom I worked with in one of the organizations I worked with about 6 or 7 years ago. And he just cannot believe that we worked together. I'm like, yes, Cosmos, we worked together. And it's not that he's any less qualified than me or any less experienced than me. But I think the difference is that he probably doesn't ask himself the same questions that I ask myself at the end of the day. How did I do? How did I want to do? And what is that gap, and how can I close that gap tomorrow? So if there's something that I didn't do well today, you can be sure that at the next opportunity, I'm looking to do it better. I'm looking to improve. So we're going to touch on a number of items. The mark of a professional, I've just used the acronym professional just so that it's easy for me to go through and group the information. So the P is for punctuality. I've noticed that Zimbabweans, in fact I won't even say Zimbabweans, just Africans in general, we don't respect time. We say we're going to start at 9 o'clock and some of us are wandering in at 9 o'clock or parking our cars at 9 o'clock. It's unfair to the people that are waiting for you, and I was very fascinated by the statistic that if you arrive 5 minutes late every day at work and you leave 5 minutes early, you're actually stealing 30 hours of work time in a year. Seems just small, 5 minutes, but when you add it up, it's a whole lot. So the mark of a professional is somebody who is punctual, who has respect for time, and who respects other people as well. Also being reliable. If I give you a job, I know it's going to be done. If I ask you to design my wedding dress, I don't have to worry, I don't have to follow you around. I know that on the day that we agree that the dress will be ready, it will be ready. It is said that a man who lacks reliability is utterly useless. If I can't trust you, I can't do business with you, I can't move forward with you if I cannot rely on you. So the mark of a professional is somebody who's reliable. The O is for organizational skills. I was very sad one day in church. Our pastor said to us, we were very overzealous at that stage. We would get up in the morning and bolt out of the house to go and for the prayers and to go and assist them with the setup and all of that. And our pastor said, I will not accept your service if you left home and you didn't make your bed. And the room was quiet, because obviously we had jumped out of bed and hit the road. I will not accept your service if you didn't make breakfast for your parents. Even more people looking down, because that's precisely what we had done. We saw ourselves so late that we couldn't take care of some of the basics. We're professionals. It's the end of the day. We leave our desks in a mess. I'll sort it out tomorrow. we've been to offices. I mean, in our job, it's very public. The media are in and out of our offices. And you request a meeting with the manager to say that the journalists are here, they'd like to have a word with you. And the guy has got all manner of papers on his desk. He's quickly clearing them, he's throwing some of them under the desk so that we project this image on TV that, this is a clean office and this is a very organized person. It's all part of our professionalism. F is for focus. We can't be jacks of all trade. And this, I think, is also a leftover from the Kia era, where we were in every business. Any opportunity, we are found there. I believe that it's very important for us to do a few things well than to be mediocre in a whole lot of things. I could claim to be, as a marketing specialist, I don't claim to be a branding specialist or a communication specialist or a PR specialist. My specialty is on linking businesses with businesses or people with people. Access to markets, trade facilitation, investment promotion. That's me when I'm at work. So let's focus on doing the few things that we know really well than being a jack of all trades. The E is for excellence. Excel at what you do and do it in the best possible way. So that at night you can be proud of your achievement. And as I said earlier, my philosophy is to strive to do things better. So I don't compete with anyone. I don't compare myself with anyone necessarily. I compare myself with myself and how I did yesterday and how I wanted to do. The S is for standards. I had to throw this one in because I love heels. And I believe for me to be really looking good, I must be in heels. Keep your head and your heels and your standards very high. The mark of a professional is somebody who speaks well. I think it is in How to Win Friends and Influence People that it says leadership gravitates towards people who speak well. So if you mumble and fumble and we cannot hear what you're saying, the leadership will not gravitate towards you. As we were touring the stands over the ZTF period with the VIPs, one thing that I noticed is when people know their product very well, but once the VP, for instance, will say, "What do you do?" the guy gets tongue-tied. The guy cannot even look up. But never fear, because there's help. If you're not a member of Toastmasters, I encourage you to be a member. I myself am a member, and it's a platform where you can continuously improve your speaking. For situations such as those, you are asked to quickly do a vote of thanks and you're not prepared. Quickly, people are judging you and assessing you for promotion purposes if you're in the workplace. They now know they've got a resource. They ask you to be the MC at a function at work. All of a sudden, you realize I don't actually have any jokes apart from the WhatsApp jokes. Leadership gravitates towards people who speak well, and we perceive people who speak well as being more professional than others. So when you're selling yourself or pitching your idea, you can have a brilliant project, you can have a brilliant idea, but if you fail to speak well and sell it well, as we say in the mark of a professional is integrity. Can you see what is happening there? You've been asked to mark the road, straight line, and you tell yourself, the guys who were supposed to sweep or the guys who were supposed to move this didn't move it. This is not my baby. As long as I've done what I'm supposed to do. I know we've seen people like that. I think at the end of the day, we need to be ethical and we need to be professional. that even if there's other areas that are maybe not necessarily in your field, that you have to take care of so that your work can stand out, that you do that. We need to over-deliver. If we've committed, if we've been asked to do something, we need to get to the standard that the person that asked you wants and do more. It's what successful people do. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, that is his philosophy. Always deliver more than expected. If professional people can, if famous people and rich people can do that, what more us? Never gossip. This is, it's not a disease of women. I know I just put women there. It's a disease across the board. We talk about each other, which is unfortunate. We talk about other people. We talk about our bosses. We talk about our customers. I had a fight with, I'll say I had a fight because it ended up a very uncomfortable scene. I went into a shoe repair shop. My tip had fallen off, so I just quickly went. And he says, "Oh no, I closed my shop at 5 o'clock." And I got there at 5:05. And I said, "Please, please, please." And he opens for me. I go around the back to look for my shoes. I said, "I'll look for it myself, don't worry, I won't stress you." And while I was at the back, I heard him talking about me. These customers, this is what they do, and what. So I got very annoyed. And when I came out the front, I said to him, "Excuse me, are you talking about me?" Didn't he just yell at me? I think he forgot the fact that this is a customer and a customer is king. But I left his shop having told him in my mind that even if as a customer I've done something wrong, you cannot speak about me to another customer. That is not professional. A is for appearance. Pay particular attention to your appearance, especially when you're meeting clients or you are at work. Your appearance is absolutely critical, and that is all aspects of your appearance, including your accessories. Especially the ladies. Some of us, we run around without a watch. How many ladies do not have a watch? A dead watch, my sister, that does not tell you the time, is better than no watch at all. If you do not have a watch as a lady, please can you acquire one? It's part of your dress. It's an essential accessory for you. People who know me know I'm very big on accessories. I always accessorize. And it's what also differentiates me. My parting shots. Just a couple of sayings that I came across that I felt would just summarize my message. Professionalism isn't an option, it's a must. It's not something that we can afford to ignore or something that you can afford to relegate. And it's not the job that you do, but it's the how. That's what sets you apart. It's not the fact that you are in this line of business with 20 other people, it's the how. It's your differentiator is the how. This, I hope you can see it, I'll just read it for the benefit of those, maybe it's a bit too light. Individuals don't become professionals because of some sudden leap that they make into the stratosphere. So it's not, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and say, "Oh wow, I'm a professional." Individuals become professionals because of their lifetime dedication and commitment to higher standards and ideals, honorable values, and continuous improvement. So what does it say? The journey of a professional is an everyday thing. That everyday introspection on how you can be better and on how you can do better. And lastly, being professional is not a label that you give yourself, because all of us are professionals. All of us are professional business people. it's a description that you hope others will apply to you. So it's people's perceptions of you. And perception is what? It's reality. Thank you.
Please could I solicit another round of applause? I think she did justice to her presentation. And if I can just add on, I love quotations. It looks like Noma and I play in the same fields. Well, I'm not at a level, but maybe it's prophetic. One day I'll get there. She spoke about professionalism being a deliberate, everyday process. A quotation that sums that up. If I had to read her, maybe her presentation before she made it, I would have said, can you add this quote? It says, successful people do every day what their unsuccessful counterparts do occasionally. Would that have fitted in your presentation? Right, could we get on to a plenary session very quickly? She has to leave us very soon, so can I take quick questions and she'll respond, then she can. After her responses, I would like to call upon Rachel to come and give a token of appreciation to her before she departs. So can I then take, please raise your hands if you want to ask questions. That's number one. Number two, see what gender sensitive, male, female. We have two. Is there a third one? Third one. One last one. Going once. Is that a hand? Oh, you're scratching. Okay. Perfect. Right. Oh, no. There's just one man. Okay. No, that's fine. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in your order, please rise, quickly tell us your name, and ask your question. Thank you.
My name is Nomathemba Ndlovu. Thank you very much for the presentation. That was a beautiful thing. I want to ask, how do we balance the professionalism that you were just presented to us with this kind of economy where you find other people or other sections that you're dealing with, they don't want to keep the time. They don't care what you go through for you to give them the service. And I'm so glad that you are managing this entire team. I just went through that kind of environment. When a client came in, we've been discussing for the month, and then they came in on Monday. They approved some of the things on Monday, 2 a.m. When the client said it's on Tuesday, and you are expected to come up with something magnificent. But I want to thank God that the step that I did was number 3. Yeah, so you try and balance that. How did you balance that kind of? Thank you.
Go for it.
Thank you for the presentation. Just a question. I think the end of the debate on the professional, was there an L at the end?
The L, sorry. The L is learning. Can I just take that?
The L is for learning, for lifelong learning. And that's one of my personal philosophies as well. I read a lot, and I have mentors, people whom I look up to. Some of them know about it, some of them actually don't know about it. But they mentor me. And my mentors are not just women, they're also men. So I learn from people. And if you want to be a business professional, you have to be willing to learn, and you have to have a teachable spirit. So that when you have a situation at work, you can feel free to ask people that know more than you. And surround yourself actually with people who know more than you. Because that's the only way that you grow. Sorry about that.
I just wanted to comment as well and encourage all of us. I know that you related to mostly business people and maybe professionals, and then some people might think, oh well, I'm just a student or I'm just a plumber, and we look down on the things that you do. But how I'd like your best ability. If you're going to be a plumber, be the best and most reliable plumber around town. If you're going to be a hairdresser, be so reliable, be the best that you can be in whatever you do. Read up on what you do. Know about hair. Know more than other hairdressers know about hair. So that people can actually come to you and know that you've got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to your industry. So yeah, just an encouragement.
I just have a comment and a question. The first bit I think is on professionalism. That we tend to think about it in terms of the customer that we are facing, and this is also looking at internal customers. I think how we relate, our character and our value systems should not only be defined by how others externals to us, it should also be how we interact with our team members and also with the people that we're working with on a day-to-day basis. Those overall things that we were talking about earlier, about character, about team dynamics and all of that. And then my question, I was kind of looking at Elwood about language. I'm reading for my life, so I find that when we have meetings and formal meetings, people tend to have a lot of meetings together. And it's a lot of things that people, I think, especially my life, people want to have. Like you go to a formal setup, it's fine to have those sort of interjections in the way and what time. But where you sit through a solid meeting and people are spoken to the so what is it that when we're talking about professionalism in a work setting, what do we need to think about in terms of the language that we're actually using in the workplace?
Good morning. My name is Nomathemba Ndlovu. Well, the question is similar to Mr. Paul's, that how best can you impact professionalism in a non-professional community?
I'll start with the first one. Balance of professionalism in an economy where others are not professional. I believe you have to stand by your principles. If you fall into the trap that others have fallen into, you become one of those businesses that when things become right, people want to graduate from you. That we only used you because things were tight. But now that the economy is back on its feet, we can afford to say, thanks, we are now going to professional people. I think your reputation in the market is not built during one particular period, it's built over time. And your track record must speak for itself at some point. So I would say never mind what other people do, never mind how unprofessional they are, you stick to your values, you stick to your professionalism. As a milliner, I get lots of people saying to me, we chat for days. I want my hat like this, I want it like this, and then I want you to add this. And they don't confirm. The day before, she says, you know, that hat, I want it and I want it today. I've also been very principled to say, it's fine. I'm sorry I cannot deliver. Because I will not accept a job where I know that I will not deliver to my best standard. Because other people seeing that are not going to know that I only had a couple of hours. So sometimes, yes, I will want the money, but I value my reputation more. Because you stand to lose a lot more sometimes by accepting work from people who are not professional. So understand who you are, stick to your own personal values is what I would say. And then there was a comment about us not looking down on what we do. We should try to be the best that in our field. That is so true. Because even in our interactions with each other, sometimes I've seen once you meet up with a plumber who you think is the plumber of all plumbers, you don't even say that I'm a plumber. You choose to be quiet about that aspect. But it's an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow. And if they know that you're a plumber as well and you look up to that person, I've found it's very good to tell people that, geez, I look up to you, I've seen your work, and I want to learn from you. there was a comment about us looking at the outward world and also not focusing on our internal customer. Yes, that's very important as well. Because for us to deliver that holistic, that seamless service to our clients, we have to serve each other as well. And maybe sometimes we over-focus on the external customer and ignore our internal customers to our detriment. On the issue of language, I will say it's not a Malawi problem. It's a Zimbabwean problem. I used to work for Edgar's. We used to have a manual that would give us the 7 steps of how to greet a customer within the first 2 minutes of them walking into the store. And we were not allowed to speak in the vernacular. It was actually documented in the procedure manual. But when a customer walks in, you say Linjana or Makadi or whatever, because that's our Africanness kind of coming out. Because some people don't really identify with the English language, and they don't really express themselves well in the English language. They feel that they are respecting you more if they greet you in the vernacular. But that's not to say that that is right. In our setup in Zimbabwe, English is still the official language of business, so we encourage people to speak in English. I have a torrid time as well at the ZITF, encouraging my exhibitors to speak to their clients in English. I have exhibitors that don't speak a word of English. So when the buyers come who speak English, the woman has got a good product, but she cannot sell. And that's also where the passion I have for women in enterprise comes. I can see women with good products, but they don't know how to sell themselves. They don't know how to speak the lingo. So it's unfortunate, but it's something that we have to just bear with, because it's a Zimbabwean issue. It's a Zimbabwean problem. And now, I suppose with the whole indigenization of our TV stations, embracing local languages, I think we're just going to have to live with that. Sorry, the last one, I didn't get the last question. Sorry, can you just repeat it?
I said it was similar to Mr. Paul's questions. Say how best can you impact professionalism in an unprofessional community?
Yeah, that you stick to your guns. You be professional. You continue to be the salt and the light, regardless of whether the world is terrible and treacherous and trying. You continue to be the salt and the light. It will come right one day.
Thank you. Before you go sit down, we have a little token of appreciation. Am I allowed to jump in and put in there? Solution a little bit? Is this like women empowerment? Okay, another round of applause, ladies. I think she really nailed her presentation. And if I can be very honest with you, she had, from what time was that? 10 o'clock last night to prepare for this presentation. If you noticed our original flyer, it had a different speaker who unfortunately pulled out on us last minute. And however, as busy as she was, she just concluded the ZITF yesterday. On her way home, I then called and I pleaded with her, and she had to go back to the office and do this presentation for us. This is a tear. I really want to express my gratitude. I owe you one. I really owe you. A round of applause. Thank you. Our tea is ready, and we can now break off for the tea. It's written tea and networking. So please, as Makawa spoke earlier on, network. I know you guys did get a bit about it. Please network during the tea break, and please let's reintroduce ourselves to each other. I'm still trying to find out what I really do, but I think I'll get to the hang of it by the end of the day. We'll break for, let's make it 15 minutes. So I'll be calling the meeting to order at 12:05, so that at least Dr. Matanda can give us the final presentation. Thank you.